It is today's news in Warcraft, featuring the best fun of World of Warcraft Classic played on a controller with the horrors of today's news. And today is a lesson in history. Um, we're going back to 1921 to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and a district in Oklahoma that was called Black Wall Street. It was a highly successful area with a lot of African American people in it, and my goodness, it was huge. It was a really big deal back then, and in 1921 it was destroyed along with several other lives, and it was called the Tulsa Race Riot. There was another word that was used for it that begins with an M, and it basically means a whole lot of people are no longer alive, and YouTube won't let you say it because you can't say MASSACRE. Put the letters together and then have it read if you're in Generation Alpha. Okay, you might have to learn to read a new word. It's a big word. It means that a lot of people were no longer alive, and we found out. Regrettably, we have found out, and this was from the Justice Department report, as reported by the New York Times, that this was not just an angry white people riot, okay? Which it wouldn't have excused anything anyway, okay? Nothing is this is not excusable by any means in the imagination, so don't get me wrong, okay? Don't get me wrong, and don't read into what I'm going to say here. Is that it's going to be wrong no matter what, and it wasn't just a bunch of white folks being really mad and throwing a temper tantrum, which y'all know involves black people getting terrible things done to them when white people throw a temper tantrum. Well, when certain white people throw a temper tantrum, I shouldn't put everybody in that one basket, because some people are so much better. Well, I think I'm out of murlocs here. As you saw in the last report, we're getting some murlocs. We need their fins and we need sunfishes. I may have to go over here to the Murloc Cove. There's a little cove full of them. And if I can pull them one at a time, it would be awesome. Come on. Oh, where are you? Oh, Lord, don't aggro on me. Please don't do that to me. Where are you? Run! He's right on top of me. Run! It's like Doctor Who. When I say run, you run. Run! Alright, so we're safe from the elite. So I can go on with this. The massacre here, well, I guess that's out of the bag there. The big word that you Generation Alpha people need to look up. This was a coordinated military-style attack. Okay? Let that sink in a second. The Tulsa Race Riot, Massacre, whatever you want to call it, was a coordinated military-style attack. Again, let that sink in for 5 seconds. I don't have a shoulder yet. Here we go. Alright. Back down we go again. I need the Mario Ocean music from Super Mario 64. There used to be an add-on that would do that, and it was called Super Mario World of Warcraft. I had it in Wrath, and I loved it. Absolutely loved that. But they don't make the add-on anymore, and I don't know where to get it, so if anybody knows what that is. So like I said, I don't know. I mean, what was even the precipitating factor to that riot? And we're going to go ahead and just look this up. So let's look this up here. So this was Tulsa. There it is. And on Wiki, it's called, there we go, also known as the Tulsa Race Riot or the Black Wall Street Massacre. It was 2 days long. Let me see here. What was 16 here? That was from 2019. So to help with this was from the Department of Justice. Oh my goodness, I forgot that I was underwater. Sorry about that, Chief. Sorry about that, Chief. We are at a point. Let me just do that and help get back to normal. It was one of the worst incidents of racial violence in American history. Just wait, because you got someone coming in the White House soon. These were when mobs of white residents, some of whom had been appointed as deputies and armed by city government officials. It was the South. Let that sink in too. It was the South. They attacked black residents, destroyed black homes and businesses in that area. It was the Greenwood district. It was where it was, and again, it was considered one of the worst incidents ever made in American history, in American racial tension history. Things have been tense for a very long time, and I mean like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, because slaves aren't happy. If you're enslaved by default, you're not going to be happy about it. Oh, poor Rory. Hang on a minute, and we'll take a break together, and we'll both eat. There we go. And while we eat, I can do this. During the riot, the attackers burned and destroyed more than 35 square blocks of the neighborhood. At the time, it was one of the wealthiest black communities in the United States, and it was known back then as Black Wall Street. 800 people were hospitalized. 6,000 black residents were interned in large facilities. The official count is 36 that were no longer alive at that point. In 2001, they examined this again. They identified 39 total, 26 black, 13 white, based on contemporary reports. The estimate could be anywhere from 75 to 300, because the books were cooked back then. The books were heavily cooked back then, especially when it came to black people. It's like somebody has put their thumb on the scale with them for an extraordinarily long time. But in the New York Times today, because I found this in my Blue Sky feed, this is the only reason why I know, is that this was a coordinated military-style attack. So basically, they got, and I know I'm going to get some flack for this, they got Gaza'd, where it was just leveled down. This was Gaza before Gaza, okay? So really, the Gaza Strip, if you want to talk about that, is getting, they are getting Tulsa'd, okay? Because I want your skin. I need to sell some stuff. I saw Tony. Hold still, Tony. Come here. I need to get rid of a whole lot of stuff. Excuse me. I've got my coffee here. And this was over Memorial Day. During that time, a 19-year-old named Dick Rowland, black shoe shiner, was accused of assaulting Sarah Page, a white 21-year-old elevator operator. He was arrested. He was going to be, how do you phrase this without making a big problem? I don't have a shadow priest at that low of a level, so I'm going to do that. I got to get rid of it. All right, Tony, is that all I can do? Yeah, that's it. Oh, wait. I can actually upgrade that. Yeah, because it's an even level. I think I can handle that. I'll earn it back. Come back here. It's hard when you just want to do it with the controller. I should have used the mouse. I should have done the sim mouse and done like this with the two joysticks, but I was not smart enough to think about that in advance. I forgot to tell you. Bye-bye. Because, yeah, right now we're just going around and getting mobs and skinning them on the way over to the Murloc Cove, okay? He was supposed to be... there's just no way to say this there's no way to say this without by skirting the filter. He was going to be lynched. Okay, the rumors were spread. Let me see here. And because New York Times puts themselves behind a wall, where even if it is you have to give your soul, like we used to call that an Apple land, you have to give them your soul, your personal information, and it made sense, because if you're giving somebody your info, you're giving them your soul, and you better be careful about who you give your soul to. 1996, 75 years after the massacre, a bipartisan group formed to study it. The final report states the city had conspired with the mob that destroyed Black Wall Street. Surprise, surprise, it was the Psyops. The state passed legislation to establish scholarships for the descendants of the survivors, and encourage economic development, and tried all their "I'm sorry" platitudes that they always do after it was discovered they've screwed up. They tried to make charitable trusts, and that's true of very, very rich people too. It's extremely true of rich people. When they screw up, you expect them to donate huge amounts to charity, unless you're Elon Musk, and then you just dig in and not care. But in any event, that's where we are today with the news. I'm going to be working on the omnibus edition. It's not really an iceberg edition. It's more or less the omnibus edition. And hey, don't you hit me? I'm supposed to be on the bear cut yet. He growled at me. So let's make it over here and make it over this way here. Come on. Oh yeah. Never mind. That was from the previous news. I don't want to mix news articles right now. But somebody's not doing their job when it comes to fires. It seems like Fire Sunday. We did the LA fire. Now we've done the Tulsa. Now we did the Tulsa report from the New York Times, which involved burning and razing of a whole lot of buildings. So let's see here. Is this it, or is this the other one? No. But there's stuff to skin. Anytime I can skin something, I'm gonna get it. Mine. So we'll make it over there to Murloc Land, and that's where I'm going to leave you today. There's this little cove of Murlocs you may not know about, especially if you play retail and just try to plow through content to make your way to max level. And this was one of those games that it wasn't about being at max level, because after you get best in slot forevers, you go PvP. Alright, here, Piggy. We'll see if we can make it here, because there's all sorts of mobs I aggro all the time. Poor Grumpy Portal got ghosted about 3 or 4 times in one day. And it was just because we had the perfect storm of events that happened on him. And it just happened. Alright, get him. They're in the next clearing, as you see right there. You see the Murloc map. I think I had one of those, and one of the whelps, and a Murloc, and one of these condors, all at the same time on poor Grumpy Portal. And I didn't know the other 2 were there, so I didn't know the condor and the dragon were there until it was way too late, and I couldn't get them out. Oh, I don't care about that. That's a stupid recipe. All right, but you see, we made it to Murloc Land. Um, and this, after this little whelp, this is where I'm going to leave you because I'm going to go whoop on some Murlocs. All right, so after we skin that one, for today's news in Warcraft, this is Ainann with Rory the Bear Cub Cat, wishing you a great day and great gaming. If you're in LA, stay safe and have a great day. Bye, everybody.